Speaking of anything can happen, Thiago Santos is not the guy to go play with. He's just not. Thiago Santos has one intention, and it's bad. He'll kick you in the leg and hope your nose breaks. He'll punch you in the nose and hope your toe breaks. I mean, he's got bad intentions. He's a rough guy. I've spoke to him. I'll personalize it. I've spoke to him one time in my life. He was on a stretcher being put into an ambulance in the back of T-Mobile Arena after he had his world title fight with John Jones. And I simply said to him, Thiago, awesome fight. That was it. He waved and said thank you, but I bring it to you because if you go back to that night, why have things been different for Thiago since that night? Many people thought that Thiago won that fight. One of the judges thought he won. This was a split decision. I thought it was 3-2 Thiago. I don't cry foul ball. It was an extremely close fight. I thought it was 3-2 Thiago. Only point being, you must have had a damn good performance. I mean, to have anybody think, even if they're wrong, but have anybody think that you just beat John Jones, you must have done a really good job. Well, he did. And in sport, right, it's just like life. Whatever goes up must come down. And it's very tough when you're burning red hot to do anything but to cool off.
Thiago Santos, Maheta, he took John Jones to a decision. Remember, he blew out every ligament in his knee in that fight. And a lot of people thought he won that fight. Thiago Santos is known for his crazy knockout power. But coming into this one, he lost his last three. He lost to John Jones, which we just spoke about. Everyone thought he won that fight. That was the general consensus. Then he lost to Glover Teixeira and Alexander Rakic, as we know. Santos has knocked out Jan Blachowicz in the past. Thiago Santos is the real deal. He's got a capoeira background and he has got absolute dynamite in his fists. Johnny Walker, same thing. 6'6", an 82-inch reach, a tall man, unpredictable, that exploded onto the UFC, but also lost some fights as well. Thiago Santos came into this on a 3-fight losing streak. I fortunately never experienced that, but I can only imagine. Imagine you're Thiago Santos. Imagine you're in the best fight promotion in the world. You're fighting John Jones, the greatest of all time, and you take him 5 rounds. You blow out every ligament in your knee and you almost win. But you don't. You lose. It doesn't matter how close you are. You lost. You damage your knee. You take some time out. Then you come out, you lose against Glover Teixeira. Then you lose against Alexander Rakic. You're on a 3-fight skid. And we know a lot of the time, 3 fights, you're out the door. This is how Thiago pays his bills.
But Jamahal Hill's got power. The guy's lanky, but man, he can swat. And Johnny Walker's chin has been dented. And it's funny because he didn't get hit on the chin with that shot. The one that hurt him was off of that temple. It doesn't look like a whole lot, but it shut him. And the way he fell, and then the next shot he took, it was like, oh, you didn't need that one. Jamahal Hill, that's a big win. That's 2 in a row. He's looking good. The guy can fight on the feet because he was marching Johnny down. He was just crushing the space on him. And, Johnny's got that long frame and he's got that beautiful front push kick that he uses and stuff. But he was never in a position to do damage to Hill during their encounter in that first round. He was always on the defense, really. Although there was some offensive technique, he was not comfortable. You could tell that he was not comfortable with what was happening and the way that Hill was approaching him. Let's be honest, Jamahal Hill had the one setback against Paul Craig. Anyone can get caught, especially against a good grappler, which Paul Craig is. Got his arm snapped. That shows, he wasn't a guy that was giving in, wasn't giving up. He had to snap his arm for the fight to end. That's when the referee ended it because his opponent was so tough, even getting his arm snapped, did not quit. That's Johnny, a tough dude. That's his only loss, his only setback in his career.
Find a guy in MMA that can work his way in, find that body, and work his way back out. You're now seeing something special. This is what Jamahal Hill does so well. He was digging to OSP's body, but he was doing it so seamlessly. He was doing it like it was a jab or a cross to the head, bump to the body, come back upstairs. It was one of these things where you're watching a rare athlete. You're going, okay, just how talented, purely athletically is this guy. I can see his drive, I can see his grit, I can see his toughness and his willingness. But just how athletically blessed is he? Standing across from OSP is a scary thing. A lot of guys have tried, not a lot of guys have succeeded. Jamahal Hill was all over. He showed him no respect. None. He showed OSP the kind of lack of respect that OSP used to show to other guys when he was getting his run through the business.